So keep your story going about we were on like road trip, like you're getting like road tripping and stuff like that.
Yes. We were talking about Mormon things.
Yes.
Kind of branching away from that. But yeah, going back into the road trips. Broke away from the religion, all that, and I started doing road trips, which was super fun. Went all over Utah, Colorado, like any neighboring state that I could get to. And then I just had, started growing the social media following, and like I was trying to do modeling, but the modeling industry is really brutal. It's, they're like, lose 15 pounds.
You got signed to a shit agency, right? That's what you
I
said
did.
before?
I signed with this agency, and they were telling me, they're like, we need you to lose 15 pounds in 2 weeks. And then the suggestions of like, just don't eat and smoke cigarettes. And I'm like, no wonder models are pissy and bitchy all the time because they're hungry.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm like, they're just so hungry.
Yeah.
They just need some food. Like models get a bad rap for having a bad attitude. And literally I feel like it's because they're just hungry.
Get
her some Chick-fil-A and they'll be good. No, modeling is great, honestly, like the concept of it, but I do feel like it's a very genetically, like if you're genetically blessed to look a certain way, 100% go for it. But when you're like trying to force yourself to be a way that you're not, like it's just super toxic. So
also I feel like back in the day there was a certain stigma for modeling, like you had to look a certain way, whereas like now there's like plus size models, or there's
the
like
unique look. That's what people go for,
or like skin tones and stuff.
So
exactly.
The freckles, right?
It changed
It's
so much
now. So like,
so
wait,
much.
by the way, how do you lose 15 pounds in 2 weeks? Like how would you go about that?
Just not
like,
eating and
or
doing
like if you do eat,
crazy
just like,
cleanses. And
you like pull trigger like when you eat?
You just don't eat. I mean, you could pull. I can't pull trig. I don't know why. I just can't do it. I've never been able to do it. So I was like, yeah, I just won't eat, and I'll just smoke cigarettes, and we'll see. Like I was like, I'll try.
Heroin
I'll
sheet,
try.
Yeah.
So like,
Just do a ton of heroin.
Yeah, just heroin.
I had agencies telling me to lose muscle. I was like, how?
That's
You
crazy.
want me to
It's
sit
weird.
on the couch? I'll just like deteriorate, just not move. I'm like, that's impossible. What are you even talking about?
It seems like that would give you a more unhealthy look than of someone like of someone who's just like. It just seems like that would make you look more unhealthy than like just normal.
And people don't want to see that anymore.
Yeah.
That was the thing back in the day, but it's changed so much. But at the time, I was just like kind of at the beginning of like everyone was still with agencies, so everyone told me I was crazy. Like when I left my agency and I would book things on my own, everyone was always telling me, you need to sign with an agency, you have to do this, like the traditional LA structure, right? Traditional Hollywood just in general. And I was kind of like, no, like I'm pretty sure that every single person within the first 2 years that I met with, people used to make fun of me for doing Instagram. It was not like a cool thing at all. People didn't think it was legit, didn't think you could make money off of it.
Like IG models weren't making money then?
Not at all. The whole first year and a half that I did Instagram, I don't think I made a single penny.
How many followers did you have?
I literally didn't do a brand deal until I got to like 600, 700,000 on Instagram.
That's insane. Because now people will literally do Instagram promos now with like 20K.
Yeah, no, because I didn't really care. Like I wasn't trying to make money off of social media, and that's something that I think is different. I just haven't heard like anyone ever say this. Like, you come out here and you hear people throwing around words like engagement and analytics, and like I didn't really know about any of that. When I just started doing Instagram, I literally loved taking pictures and making videos, and that was just like a platform for me to share it on. I wasn't trying to make money off of it, and like the fact that I grew from it was a complete accident. I was just, I was on Tumblr before, MySpace, like I love
Tumblr famous?
Yes, Tumblr, like, Alexis Renjay Alvarez, like that was that kind of era for me where I was like, I want to do this, and I was just trying to do what they were doing by any means. I was like, okay, they travel and they post pictures. Like I'm gonna do the same thing, and I just wanted to travel. That was what I really wanted.
The dream is to get everything paid for. They want you to show the hotel, the resorts.
Exactly. And I got to a point where I was traveling. So after the road trips, I started flying places, and I literally would come home. Like I would go to these beautiful places like Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas and post these insane pictures. And then I would go home and literally be homeless. Like it was the craziest. Like everyone saw something online, and then there was the actual reality of it. And I was like, man, I just want this to be my reality. Like I really want these trips and these pictures to actually be my full-time reality. So I just started booking jobs like back to back to back, and they would, pay for flights, places. And then I started making money from doing the modeling jobs and getting brand deals online. And it was just like this giant snowball effect, and it just kept going. And then I got to travel to the most incredible places all over the world, and it kind of stopped when quarantine hit, but it was definitely like the most memorable. I'll never forget that time of my life. Like I still travel, but that was just such a unique, like I had so much energy because I was so young, and I just like went everywhere.
So with traveling so much and then like living in LA now, like what's been like your Hollywood experience, like your LA experience? Because like to me, LA is the place where it's the most like it's so fake that people act like they love it, but like it's really hard to actually love it. You know what I mean? So like how with having so much experience and seeing so many other places, like what's your LA experience?
This is such an interesting topic because I kind of get everyone always appreciates my honesty. Like I'm super honest online. Like I don't bullshit, and I'll be straight up like just be like, yeah, everybody out here is really fake. Like, and it's not, you know, that's a very layman's term of saying it, but the reason people interact with each other here, how they interact with each other, like it's all for a very specific reason. A lot of it's just social climbing to like the best it's the best example of social climbing just in general. But coming out here, you know, I got my own house, and that's like my little sanctuary where I'm very specific about who I let in and out, because there's a million content houses out here, and it's just all sorts of strangers in and out all the time. Like I don't even know how people live in them, like these kids too, like how there's just no protection or anything. Like the most random shit goes down in those houses, and like I lived in one, and everyone's kind of seen what happened with that place, the Clubhouse. And then
I forgot about that.
That was a while ago.
That was a while ago.
Dude, I was like one of the first people to move into that place.
That was one of the first stories we ever did on TikTok when we joined. Was like, there's a new place called Clubhouse. What is it?
Yeah, how was the backlash for that?
It was pretty funny. We just reacted to your guys' video with like the lion in front of the house. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I was friends with Daisy Keach, and she invited me to, you know, move in. I did it for a couple months, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. Not anything specific bad that happened. I just was like, yo, like this is wild living here. And then I visited all of them, and obviously I have a lot of friends who live in them, and it's just the craziest shit ever. I've never really dealt with paparazzi until I was out here full time.
Yeah,
because I just
Fletcher,
Kevin.
Yeah,
I was literally just out to dinner last night in Kevin's. You know, like I was just having a normal conversation with him because I know him now, and he just whips out a camera while we're talking like mid convo. I'm like, all right, like this is how it's better to know them.
Yeah,
because at first, when I first started getting paparazzi'd, I remember like walking out of Boa, and I almost had a panic attack. Like I was not okay. I actually left the entire group of people I was with and just walked away, because not only were the paparazzi taking pictures, but in my head, traditional celebrities just keep going about their day while the paparazzi is shooting them.
right.
Versus all of the TikTokers
Who talk to them,
who interact with them and are basically filming a vlog while being paparazzi.
But then the fans get upset. They're like, "Really? You're just gonna walk away and not answer the questions?
We want to know.
Do you think you're that big of a deal?" But it's like, nah. But it's like that's not how it is. Sometimes I don't want to be talking for 10 minutes at a conversation right after I eat dinner.
Well, it's just like, that's your personal time, right? Like you go to dinner, you're with your friends. Like you don't want to be interviewed about what you're doing for work or any stuff like that. And at first it kind of freaked me out. I was like, why are you guys like interacting with them so much? But it does make it more personal, like as I saw like them getting to know like the actual names of the people shooting them, and like then I talked to Kevin and Fletcher and all of them. Like it's just way better that way. And it felt more personal instead of just me like having a million cameras shoved in my face. But I also feel like I didn't get to really have the full LA experience because of quarantine the whole time. I was living in Beverly Hills, and there's like militia guards up and down the streets holding AKs because it was the middle of the riots, like everything that was going on. So it was completely different, and it's just been a lot of like random house parties, and you know, LA kind of has sucked during quarantine.
Random